Good evening, everybody. March 5th, approximately 5:30 Eastern Standard Times. Well, let's start out here our quick little vid on the different categories of clouds. We have snuff puff clouds over here. We have, what do we call them? Shimmering pocket clouds. Pretty interesting look, isn't it? Maybe we can come in closer on them. Now, when we take a look at these patterns up here, it's almost as if they had turned on an electric frequency, isn't it? You ever see how they put the little pieces of metal and they put magnet patterns on them? Well, it's kind of the similar thing that's going on up in the sky. I mean, how does each one of these clouds have such similarity to one another? And then to see so many different types, so we have the ripple. We have the artiste. If you look at it, it's almost like they're feathered. Like somebody took a paintbrush. I know quite often people say, well, the skies of God's making, his canvas. And it also could be partly the canvas through human beings, twiddling a whole bunch of buttons and dials and turning up certain levels of frequencies, which is becoming more popular talk these days, because of things like this offer frequencies. Wi-Fi in the air. Any one of these houses, if you're there and you flick on your phone and you say available Wi-Fi, 8, 9, 10 of them come up. That means there's that many available Wi-Fi rays out there. Now, I'm sure just a teeny bit, it's still like a main one. That may be a little bit of a package sequence there to have it specified to the specific subscriber. But here again, tonight up there is a moon. Can't really see it at this point, but it's there. And I still haven't got enough fun with this little thermometer here. Because, I mean, what did Stephen Hawking, what, he get paid and praised? I'm not looking for that much. I'm not looking to be oppressed either. But when people like talked about cosmos zillions of miles away, and they probably weren't correct whatsoever. Say hi to our buddy Lorenzo over there. Call him Big Red Truck Man. His voice shakes the ground. Well, to do our temperature test here again, to once again prove that the moon provides its own light, thus proving again that pretty much almost all of astronomy is completely science bunk. Why? Because if the moon's light actually cools the air cooler than what the sun is providing, because we couldn't have a temperature here that is right now. This is both in the moonlight and in the sunlight. So if we take the moon's light out of it, how would it get warmer? You follow that? So right here, the sun is on the western horizon. The moon is up here, so we have both the moonlight coming here and the sunlight coming to the same spot. Now, if the moon were lit by the sun, when we take the moonlight out, it wouldn't make any difference, or it wouldn't make any difference. But what we'll find is it's going to raise, and it's being blocked by Stevens Disposal Company, 734-856-8451 for clean dumpsters. So this dumpster here is blocking the moon. You really can't see it in the video, but trust me, the moon is right up here. So we are now shading out away from the moonlight, but we're still in the sunlight. Now when we come away from the dumpster, we'll see that the thermometer will go downward because we are now back into the moonlight. To me, that is 1 gazillion trillion percentage proof that science in regards to astronomy of the moon being lit by the earth, thus the earth spinning and the earth circling the sun, is all nothing but a made-up story that was sold to the people a long time ago, which governments decided to gather together because it is important for people. It's built deep within every human being to kind of know where we came from, what the skies and the stars and the sun and the moon are. So yes, power structures ever since 2,000 years ago or thereabouts had opted to keep the lie alive, thus denying us, the regular population, since we've been taught in our schools and our universities and by anybody that's ever read astronomy books and everybody will read a magazine or went to a movie, that the earth was a round ball, that the sun is traveling through the universe and that we're circling around the sun. That can't be, according to the thermometer. 52 degrees out here. Now if we go, let's walk behind Miss Betsy here. And as soon as we start blocking out the moonlight, the moon's up there, it's going to get warmer. I just know this. Not moving up too much yet, but I bet if we come out into the moonlight, it will go down again. And if we go back behind the truck, it goes up. And if we go behind the dumpster or the shed or anything that would obscure the moonlight, I wish it would show up. I know it's right around there. So how could anybody overcome that? We're both in the sunlight and the moonlight, and we have one temperature. Now, if the moon were lit by that sun as the reason that we're seeing it, then it would not make it cooler from the sun, from the moon. It would have to make it at least equal, meaning that once we block out the moonlight, it should not make it warmer. That means there's a combination, and there's the sun, the moon right there. You can kind of see it coming through here. That moon then is actually cooling the air, mixing with what the sun is doing to the air. The sun is warming the air, and the moon is cooling the air. And how do we prove that? We take the moon's light out of the equation. And once we do that, by going here and blocking it out, the temperature goes up. We come back into the moonlight, and it goes down. That can only happen, this happens religiously, and I could do it a lot. Behind, warmer, back into the moonlight, cooler. That is only possible as if that moon has nothing to do with the sun. Now, if they lied about the sun reflecting off the moon is the reason that we could see it, what else have they lied to us about? If they lied about most of astronomy, do you think they lied about 9/11? Do you think they would have lied about maybe there's some of the reasons behind the wars? Do you think they may have lied a little bit about even our history going back to certain hundreds of years back, if not thousands of years back? Now, what is not a lie is that we are here on Earth. We still all have common characteristics amongst each other. And part of exposing their lies gives people the power to get to the truth, because if we have the reasonable good information, then we can change things. If we believe in the deception, then we're not going to be able to change anything. And it causes spinning wheels. If nothing else, if you're happy under the deception, it's still irresponsible for those that aren't happy with the deception. So at a reasonable responsibility level, we should acknowledge what is the truth and what is false. So you can see how that would, just like with anything, if you know at work that the manager is doing something completely wrong and you complain to somebody about it, they don't just say, oh, get over it, or that's a lie. That would be rude, wouldn't it? You know, the manager stole some of your sales commissions and you wanted to complain to somebody within the company or maybe at home. And the person you complained to said, oh, no, that's just a big lie. Now, there might be a little bit of adjustment on what the attitude is, but they're not going to tell you that's a big lie. They're going to say that was wrong and they shouldn't do that. And if I were the manager, I wouldn't have taken that money. So it can lead into us deciding to follow the deceptors, the leaders of the deceptors, or the leaders of the truth. And to keep people out of all of it, just follow the truth. It has no feelings. It makes it another way as it is what it is. Well, there's our, 10-minute speech. It still looks really neat. And I imagine we're going to have a nice sunset tonight. Over and out. Catch you later.